but the idea of being with me and my girlfriend, it was the number of women that are totally fine with that, and the number of women who think that that doesn't count. This is mind blowing. You are polygynous. You've said poly before, and I think a lot of people, because when you say poly, they think what you're saying is multiple men, multiple women. No. You and I have the same thing. Yeah. I'm polygynous, and you're polygynous, meaning we date multiple women. Right. Either, in your case, you have multiple women that might be with you. In my case, it is me and my girlfriend, and we see women together. So that's what want to make. That's still polygyny. Yeah, it's polygyny. So a lot of people, we don't have our own flag, by the way. Polyamory has a flag in the LBGT parades. Polygyny, apparently one alpha male several women doesn't get their own flag.
Every woman that I know, when we get to really talk, they're like, yeah, I guess. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
When you explain it to them,
yeah.
If there was just no lying involved,
right?
The other concept in polygyny, or the other concept that I think a lot of guys don't understand, is that before my girlfriend, I'd say 85% of the women that I was sleeping with were my friends, and these guys don't have a concept of that. Like literally, they go through their life normally. They'll have a boyfriend. They won't have a boyfriend. They'll just move on to someone else. They'll talk to somebody else. And like, we'll just be living our lives. I'll throw their birthday party or whatever. And then they just decide they want to sleep with me. And this concept doesn't work for these guys, because what they're used to is I meet a woman I'm attracted to, and then I shoot my shot. She puts me in the friend zone, and I'm like orbiting her, waiting for a chance to get to have sex with her. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm just value all the time. I'm offering value. I'm creating win-win situations for people, and they're just observing it as my friend. And then they become attracted. At no point am I showing intent towards them, but there's just so many women around that this sort of happens. And when you explain that to women, though, we'll have a show here, they'll have 10 girls on here, and they've all dated 6'3" male strippers, and they've all like VIP hosts and stuff like that. And they're like, there's no way. All these guys are getting laid all the time. And then you take them to Walmart.
Your guys are getting laid.
You take them to Walmart, and you look at the cashier, and you're like, who's fucking him? And she's like, oh, I forgot that was a man also. That's also a man.
Yeah. No, it's real. It's real. I've always had an abundance, at every stage of my life. So it's funny, because when I was in college, so I stayed at the dorm Manzanita at first, and it was like too crazy. So I got an apartment. One of my boys came and stayed with me for like a week. We was hanging out, and just different girl at the house every day, right? And about Friday, he was like, bro, how do you do this? I'm like, do what? Like, you don't do this?
Yeah.
I thought it was normal, you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. That's not good, though. I'm going to tell you why. That was a large part of my young adulthood of me just getting good at getting girls.
Yeah.
Putting a lot of energy in something like that.
Do you think your upbringing in Brooklyn and your almost like stoicism when it came to things like life and death helped you when it dealing with girls?
Yeah, I think it,
Because when we're young, we're so overly reactive, and like the women can see when you're 22 and you're trying to do anything to get pussy. But if you're stoic, like you've been through some, Bilzerian has a great quote. He says, when you get out of college, he advises for some guys, go in the military for 2 years. That way, when you get out, now you're 21 years old, you got a little bit of money, and now you're a freshman in college. All the other male freshmen you're going up against, they can't with you. You're a man. And so that's be the difference there.
Look, pressure produces diamonds or bust pipes, right? So all the pressure that I had, it didn't crush me, When it comes to women, it's the same. Here's the thing. I've created the reality that I want. I created an ideal life for me. So I come and go as I please. I can have who I want. And look, this is interesting, because this is what I used to tell Fresh and Fit audience. When I didn't have my shit together, I stayed in my lane. I wasn't, because I wasn't trying to holla at girls out of my league. They were out of my league.
So you weren't upset about that, whereas some of these other guys are like, because they're getting rejected, they're sitting there on these message boards screaming at women.
That's not a logical position to have.
Correct.
You know that you cannot, where are you going to take her to eat at? I think the fact that I am a Muslim, my relationship and how I think men's relationship with women is a little bit different. Right? Even a young dude, it's like you get a woman or women and you take care of them. You protect them, you provide, you lead them, you guide them, all of that shit. It's a great responsibility, but the reward is, it's lovely, right? So I don't look at it like, oh, I'm just even in my form of romance or polygyny, I don't have random hookups.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that. I've done it before, but it's just, I don't like it. I feel like I'm giving this woman a great time and she just goes away. Like, nah, it's an investment of my time. my energy. Everything's an investment.
Yeah.
I want to see the fruits of that.
Of course. I think one of the things, because you mentioned this earlier, is that I think there's a level of freedom that you have when you were saying, when I resonate with people, that's just on accident. But I think one of the reasons why so many people resonate with you is because you're free. Like you are free in the way, like the true way that people are free, meaning financially free. You do what it is that you want to do. You're free when it comes to women or whatever your opinions on political things may be, you're still completely free. And I felt like a lot of people resonated with Andrew for the same reason, is because he came off with this certain level of freedom. You can lock me up. I still got 400 million stashed somewhere you don't know about. And the same thing with Bilzerian. Bilzerian talked about money does not buy you these things. Money allows you to not deal with things you don't want to deal with. If there's a problem, just pay it off and get it out of my way.
You can never lock me up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't lock me up.
Yeah.
You're an interesting fucking guy. Remember I told you, I said, I like how you roll.
Yeah.
I love that. Women, when I go out, my ratios is like me and my homie and like 6, 7 girls.
Yes. We were going to talk about
in my
that.
section, one time, like, one of my little homies, he wanted to get a section with me, right? Let's do it. I get there late at the front. They're like, well, Mike Rashid table is full. I'm like, okay. You got a bunch of dudes in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. So we just get another section over here. Me, my boy 19 Keys, and just beautiful, dope,
yes,
smart,
of course,
cool chicks. And we had a ball.
Yeah.
And we just left that early and just went and did hookah and hung out. You know what I'm saying? That's my vibe. I love the companionship of women. It ain't even sexual, you know? Just hanging out, talking, like, what's up? Like, you know, I love it all. And I love giving them an example of like true masculinity.
Yes.
You know? Because it's fucked up. So yeah, my ratio's gotta be of that nature. But women like yours, but women are not gonna be around you if you're a creep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a good dude. Women are powerful.
So let's talk about this. You said something that I resonate with is if I go out, I prefer to have 7 or 8 women with me, and maybe like 1 or 2 guy friends.
Right.
In fact, it got to a point where it was actually a problem where I had a buddy of mine. He's a TV producer, huge TV show, and he was asking me to say, "Hey man, let's go have dinner somewhere." And I was like, are the girls coming? Like in my mind, I'm thinking, but we have to have 25 girls with us in order to go to dinner. Right. Like you're with 400 million. And then I was just like, dude, you got to stop doing this. It's like every time I went out, I had to have girls, and I finally got to the point where I got to stop doing this. But the thing was, if I'm going to do a social situation, if I'm playing basketball, it's totally different. If I'm watching football, it's different. But if I'm going out to a club, I'd prefer to have 20 women with me.
Right.
You get that because I'm not trying to sleep with all of them, but the concept that I think a lot of guys don't understand is that women are always introducing me to women. It was 4 girls who introduced me to the girl I'm dating now at a bikini competition where I was hosting. It was a world championship bikini competition. She was one of the finalists. And I was only there because the girl who previously won was my friend and recommended that I become the host. And so it's women who introduce me to women who introduce me to more women who get people on my podcast, reach out to people for me, get me invited to everything.
Yeah.
But guys don't understand that. They're like, you're friends with women, so you're a simp. And I'm like, no, women don't put me in the friend zone. That's something totally different.
Right,
but I feel like you grasp this concept.
Yeah.
The number of women who had no interest in hooking up with me one-on-one, but the idea of being with me and my girlfriend, it was the number of women that are totally fine with that, and the number of women who think that doesn't count. This is mind blowing. It's like if I have sex with one dude, then I'm cheating on my boyfriend. But if it's with a couple, then it doesn't count. That's another one's crazy.
And all women, I don't believe in a purely homosexual woman.
Yeah,
it's homosexual guys.
Yeah.
But women is interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
Because I know so many.
And the science shows this, by the way. Evolution of Desire describes exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's very few women. There's one woman in my life that's just not down